You are invited to speak, Edgelord.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. Daniel was right. It's I was probably bringing something in my head.
What was
But
the what was the claim? What did you say?
that there was an actually that's something funny because there was a resolution 3236 uh which had to be understood by Europeans mostly that Israel has to give up all territories, while America and other states were understanding it more the way like that the borders are only slightly changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the word where like Israel has to give back all occupied territories.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go from the perspective of the Palestinians, that would be well Palestinian.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so, but I was like searching for more resolutions, but what I found was kind of really disappointing. I mean, like there are plenty of resolutions where UN is requesting Israel to do something and Israel does the directly opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't
So
have a whole I don't have a whole lot to say there. I mean,
so just say
I do
you might be.
genuinely believe that it is a genocide at this point. At first, I did not possess that opinion. I now hold that opinion.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. But what I wanted to say is like I warned you in side chat not to invite Mango. He's a troll. He is a
Oh, I don't think that they're a troll. I just think that they have a very staunch position and they're willing to defend it. Um,
he's
but
really bad faith.
yeah, but they can be really difficult to deal with, though. I agree.
Like I liked him when you interrupted him. Do not interrupt me. Come on, that was funny.
I mean, he was the one sitting there like saying that like I was interrupting him when like I like let him. I did let him talk. I mean, okay, there was a portion where I did interrupt him. There's a part, right? But it's like I don't like that. There's like that double stand, bro. I am just physically stuck here. I can't move.
I know from someone else on the
Welcome,
server
Parlay
that
G, to the stream. Um, if there's anything that you disagree with a Democrat on, feel free to uh, uh, have a raise your hand up and own me in a debate, and you get featured in a YouTube video.
yeah, back then the topic we had with Trump. So do you really think that even when you got told like to act in a certain way and to ignore the fact that he is Trump, that you could ignore the fact that he is Trump?
I think if I was, on the jury, I think I could. I think I would be able to. I think I would just say, okay, just imagine it's just this faceless person that has no, like, just look at it based on the merits and nothing more. I think I could do
I mean,
that. Yeah.
I
And,
think it's
and
a
I
real
have done
concern.
things like that for, there was a, like the first, I was involved in two jury trials. The first jury trial was a child rapist, and the other one was a drug dealer. And your immediate reaction to like a suspected child pedophile, right, or a child sex offender is it's a very visceral reaction. And it's like really what you need to be able to do is kind of like pull yourself out of that and go just look at the facts of the case, deliberate based on the facts of the case, not off of some emotional appeal. And and the when it comes to like a jury trial, they check for that. They make sure that it's like, okay, you're not going to come at it with bias. You're going to just deliberate exactly as it's supposed to say. And I think that's the way to go about it when it comes to the case with Donald Trump. I was honestly, I was genuinely concerned that it was going to be a hung trial. And the reason why is because there was one guy where they like surveyed where they get their news from. And this guy just said, all I get my news from is Truth Social. And it's like, Bruh, and this guy's on the trial. Oh no. So I was genuinely quite concerned about that.
I have a question.
Sure, what you
Like,
got?
what was the outcome of the child rapist?
Oh, so they were accused of they like babysitted as like they were the uncle of like their niece, you know, and it was uncle and niece relationship. So I don't know why I worded it that way. It was an uncle and niece relationship, and you know the girl years later was coming out saying that that he was a rapist, that he raped her, and you know, I mean, we sat down and we looked at the facts, and you know they had to go over, I don't want to get too far into the details, but it went into some pretty like heavy detail in talking about like, you know, medical examiners and stuff like that, and you know, it was pretty clear that it did happen. And so, you know, we as like the jurors, it didn't I specifically, I believe that I was dismissed. Costa says, bruh, these topics on YouTube channel is going to be killed, lol. So like, I think that's the case for TikTok. That's not the case for YouTube. Those are two different things. But the particular deliberation, what happened was the person was found guilty. That's really what happened. I don't know what they were sentenced for, only that they were guilty. As for the second one, was a drug dealer, and all that we had to work off of was like, well, I mean, it was more than just this, but this was like a big piece of the evidence. Was like, there was like this guy who like handed a bag to somebody, and like he got money,
Do me a little
and
favor
it
and
wasn't like
re-invite me.
easy to tell. What?
You could do me a little favor and re-invite me. I'm connected to my computer.
Okay. But yeah, that's basically what went down, at least on the two trials. And I mean, the way that I thought about it was like, you know, really you should just assume that they are innocent before guilty, right? And that's exactly what they tell you, is that assume that they're innocent before guilty. We understand that this is a very, you know, heavy crime, and you need to be able to like deliberate it, you know, in a way that that you know, where it's just the facts of the matter. And that's what ended up happening. You know, we ended up deliberating in that way, and then they were just found guilty. You know, that's what it is.
Oh, Dark Souls. I mean, the game is looking pretty good. It's aged pretty well.
Oh yeah, Dark Souls 3? This thing hasn't aged a day.
I mean, the graphics are still awesome.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's not like a open world, right? You have like a
No,
straight
no,
base.
it's not. It's not. In fact, I'm unlocking a shortcut right now so I can continue making it down, because I am out of Estus flasks. Let's see where this is at. I forget where it's at, but it's always a shortcut. Whoa.
What kind of weapon do you prefer? I mean, do you like the double
Big
axe
weapon.
or
Big weapon. I love big weapon.
you love big weapon?
Big weapon. Yeah, give me a nice big fat weapon. That's what I like. Anyway, what was this discussion even about? Like trials and Donald
Generally Trump
and
Donald
trials. Okay.
I mean, what is there much to discuss? I mean, like, what do you think at least will be
I'm just
the
doing
outcome? I mean,
timestamps. I'm doing timestamps.
okay. After he's now convicted, what do you think is the outcome?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. Like, it could go either direction. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, he could just get house arrest. Like, I don't know. I went the wrong direction. I'm going this direction. Please
I mean, at least like the felonies he was committing were. Is it like worthy to get in prison for that? Or
I have no idea. I have no clue. No clue how that's going to work out. That could either go a really good way or a really bad way.
Does it stop him like from candidate or?
Doesn't stop him at all. He can do it straight from prison. I mean, there's some stuff that's like makes it hard for him, but there's no rule or legislation that says you can't. So, like, yeah.
So Jeffrey Dahmer for president.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you could just have Jeffrey Dahmer for president.
Would be quite funny. I mean, I was still.
I don't know if that'd be
laughing.
funny. I don't want him to be president. I think he's a pretty bad guy. I think like he's made things worse for the United States. I think that like Project 2025 scares the shit out of me. I mean, it really does. It scares the hell out of me. I can't like look at this as like a potentially a good thing. Like it to me, it looks to like a theocracy. Like they want to push for a theocracy, and I just can't. Like it's not even about like Republican versus Democrat anymore. It's like, hey, there's one guy that wants to circumvent the Constitution, and then there's another person who like is old. Like I think I'm gonna just pick the old. I'll take my chances with the old dude. Like I know, hot take, right? Like old dude over like guy who wants to circumvent the Constitution. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. That with like the combination of like the Heritage Foundation, like doing some heavy lifting on like with Project 2025 and like, you know, wanting to like remove all sorts of like basic rights from people. I'm just like, I can't. I'm against you. Like you guys are bad people. I don't know what to say. Does that make sense?
Where's that with the project? Where was that question?
Huh?
Was it side chat?
What?
Where this question came up with project?
Project 2025.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, it's this policy legislation that was made by the Heritage Foundation. It's like a 900-page like thing that like it basically the goal is to have Trump basically do the things that is entailed in Project 2025.
Oof. That sounds difficult.
Well, I mean, it's actually it's pretty scary. Like just looking at like what they're interested in doing. I'm just like I can't get behind you. Like you're like dangerous. Like this could actually legitimately cause a problem for the United States. It could literally end democracy as we know it. We have no way to determine whether or not that could or couldn't be the case. So like I don't want that to be possible.
Wasn't that already like kind of concern existing when you came like in 2001 with the Patriot Act?
Yeah. I mean that didn't help for sure.
I mean that kind of act was like a step in direction to a not really democratic kind of a state.
No, I agree. I don't know. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. We can't have that.
It is. Clearly it is. I mean, we never know what is at least the outcomes of something like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where do I think it's going to go next? I mean, classically, like how like what usually happens when you're convicted of falsifying records like this. If you are convicted, you know, do you see jail time? Like I honestly don't know. We should probably look at like some past precedent. In fact, why don't we go ahead and do that real quick? Hold on.
I mean, has there always like been a president who have been convicted of something?
No, I said precedent. Like not president. Precedent. Let me look this up. Hold on.
Other cases.
It's basically exactly. So let me look this up real quick. Hold on.
But is that not also like giving a kind of a precedent for like where generally presidents are getting persecuted after their time in office?
Hold on a sec. I'm trying to see if I can find something that's like an older case of that, I guess. Yeah, this is all like yeah, I don't want anything to say like that has Trump's name on it. I just want to like let me look.
You just want a president where you're from president? Fuck, English.
Precedent and then president.
President.
I know it's
President. You just want a president from where you can like elaborate like a possible way where it could go in.
all right. So falsifying business records in the second degree. A person is guilty of falsifying business records in the second degree when the intent to defraud, he makes, cause, or false entry in business records of an enterprise, alters, erases, obliterates, deletes, removes, or destroys a true entry in the business records or enterprise. 3, omits to make true entry in the business records of an enterprise in violation of a duty to do so when he or she knows to be imposed upon him by law or by the nature of his position, or prevents making a true entry or the cause of omission thereof the business records of an enterprise. Falsifying business records in the second degree is a Class A misdemeanor. But I thought these were felonies. Are they not? Let me look this up. Hold on. 34 they're 34 felony counts. So it's probably oh, okay, here we go. Falsifying business records of the first degree. A person is guilty of falsifying business records in the first degree when he commits the crime of falsifying business records in the second degree, and when his intent to defraud includes an intent to commit another crime or to aid or conceal the commission thereof. That is the felony. Okay. So if that is the felony, then we have to see what the like convictions for a Class E felony. Let me look.
So what was the punishment?
So up to 4 years in a state prison or county jail, the maximum sentence. Many Class E felons receive no jail time at all. While about 15 to 30% tend to get sentences of about 1 to 2 years on average. First-time offenders have a good chance of avoiding incarceration or receiving very minimal jail time. So, under that basis, would it be free to say that, like, I mean, I'm sure, like, Trump's got some good lawyers. Like maybe he'll just get away with this, you know? Like he won't see any jail time. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of them though. There's 34. So
He has 34 lawyers?
no, there's 34 convictions or 30. He's been convicted of 34 different Class E felonies. He is now officially a felon. We could stop saying he's a convicted felon. No, he is a felon. That's crazy.
So a felon means like a criminal.
So like there's two types of things called a misdemeanor and a felon. So let me just make sure I get this right. So a misdemeanor is a lesser offense than a felony and is punishable for up to 1 year in jail. A felony, on the other hand, is a crime that is punishable of over 1 year, and that's the state of Florida. Let me pull up federal. Felonies are offenses that may result in prison sentences of more than 1 year, while misdemeanors carry 1 year or less. So they're not just like like regular crimes, they're bigger crimes. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I always assume that
sense.
everybody is an American.
I mean, even then, you should explain stuff like that. I mean,
What
you may think
I assume
sometimes
everybody
stuff
knows
is
what
common
that
knowledge.
is. I mean, okay, generally that is common knowledge, but at least in the U.S., it's common knowledge. Well, actually, that's not true. I did not know it was like it had a specific criteria of a year. Now I know. That's cool.
I mean, what do you think? Like, how many times I were like talking with German people and were thinking like stuff is common knowledge while it was not,
Yeah.
not for them.
Anyway, let's take a look here.